advised, Executor. Our forces are divided. Aldaris has taken control of our Templar warriors and arbiters. It is possible that he may even send Archons against us.
Fear not, comrades, for we have Archons of our own. Should the dire need arise, all Dark Templar may merge to become Dark Archons. Though we sacrifice our warriors in doing so, only the might of the Dark Archons can match the forces of Aldaris.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to level 7 of the Protoss campaign in Starcraft 1 Brood War campaign remastered version. And this is a pretty challenging level to play, depending on the approach that you are going to take. Protoss attacks are relentless, and the Protoss defenses are also relentless on Artanis' side. So we are instead going to make use of a carrier approach in order to deal with this level. So not many ground-based units that we will be making. Fortunately, there are two other bases that we can easily occupy. The important thing is, in the meantime, is to get our resources up and running, claim those two bases, build up defenses, and then just basically mass carriers from there on out. So as you can see, we are introduced to one of the new support units in this game, the incredibly powerful Archon, and here we get to demonstrate its effectiveness, as it has the mind control ability that mind controls any unit on the map to our use, at the cost of shield and energy, of course. So, not a very strong unit. The only attacking ability it's got is feedback, but the feedback ability only gets used on units that have energy. Now, if your opponent were to, for an example, go for lots of battle cruisers, this is an ideal unit to use against the battle cruisers, as it does a ton of damage. I think it instantly kills medics and ghosts and units like that. So yeah, focusing now more on the level itself, we are going to try and claim both of these bases ASAP. We won't be focusing as many attacks as frequently, but nonetheless it's a good idea to build some defenses here inside of our main base and get the defenses up and running in the expansion bases as quickly as possible, because we will definitely be experiencing attacks every once in a while. So, fortunately, we have our Dark Templar, and our Dark Templar are gonna be the answer to most of the attacks that we experience from Aldaris' units. You can see that I also went for the shield upgrade first. Other than that, you can go for the armor upgrade next. Just get your upgrades that would benefit your carriers the most first. Make sure that you get that gas production up and running early on. As you can see, about 3 is enough for this one Vespene Geyser. And from here on out, just build pylons and get photon cannons up and running. Keep track of when they do send in their units to come and attack us. Ideally, you want to target the Protoss Archons instead of any other units. Zealots are pointless. Archons we can't make ourselves for this map. So rather invest the energy into capturing the Khalai Archons instead. So get a couple of our photon cannons up and running. They will send in Reavers every once in a while in order to harass us. Very annoying thing from their side to do, but it is part of the level. This is the part where Dark Templar and Dark Archon become really handy, because we can either decide to mind control their units, or yeah, we can decide to mind control their units, or we can use the Dark Templar to just knock them down. Did we lose the Dark Templar? Oh, that's okay. Okay, is he gonna try and run through here? Bad idea, buddy. Okay, so this side over here has got enough probes for now. Get these bases saturated ASAP, and just keep on watching the map to make sure when their attacks come through. They'll probably try to slip through gaps like these. You can try to, I believe you can build photon cannons over there. Yeah, you can build photon cannons over here if you want to be extra safe. But in my opinion, it's not that important. So just build photon cannons in your base. I find it to just work a whole lot better. Okay, defenses are coming up nicely. Bases are also coming up nicely. We need to get to a fleet beacon as soon as we can. We are going to be stacking our stargates right over here. And as soon as we have the resources to mass carriers, that is exactly what we are going to be doing. Now, carriers, as you already know, are quite expensive. The sooner we can get our gas up and running, the better for us. Remember as well that carriers are very high in food supply too, so another thing that you need to keep track of. Okay, so far so good. The next batch we can send over here. Income is coming up nicely. Things for the most part are looking pretty good for us. I think this one should have 4 probes to get a good amount of gas from it consistently. Depending on the style that you want to play will depend on the kind of units that you go for. I should warn you, however, this level can get pretty intense pretty quickly when trying to assault the bases and knock down Aldaris. The Aldaris here on the top is the one that you need to worry about, and in order to get to that Aldaris, you have pretty much 2 approaches. You can fly through, but there's a bunch of defenses along the way. Well, either approach that you take is going to have a bunch of defenses. Oh, goodness. Goodness. Well, let's suck a little teeny tiny bit. Alright. Let's just see if we can knock him down, at least. The rest we will just leave to our Dark Templars to clear out for us. Like that. Actually got these defenses up and running just in time. So that's what I was talking about with regards to the Reavers. These amount of defenses that we have should be enough. Other than that, yeah, relying on some other units as well is not a bad idea. Having 4 Stargates is more than enough to quickly get the carrier amount up and running that we need. So hotkey these, or at least one of these Stargates, and from here on out, we are pretty much going to be playing a waiting game. Get our pylons up and running, get our upgrades up and running, and just survive. That's about it for the time being. And get those shields as well, yes. It will probably also be a good idea for us to get an observer as well, because we are fighting against the Khalai Protoss. They have access to arbiters and we don't, so for sure try to get that up and running too. I actually forgot to speak about the approaches, so like I said, you can fly through with a bunch of carriers or with a bunch of units that you drop on Aldaris and finish them off. The other option is to take the long route here on the center right side and have a hefty battle ahead of you. It's actually not a very pleasant way to play, and it really drags out this level ultimately. So just keep those little things in mind. I actually forgot we should build some photon cannons in the base as well, because we might experience some attacks from zealot drops or whatever units they throw our way. Okay, so far so good. Here comes our first batch of carriers. Just send a rally point over here, and as soon as those carriers hit, we can start attacking them and giving them a hard time. Getting scouts is also a really good idea for this level, because we will be facing off against a lot of their air defense and air kind of units as well. So having a bunch of scouts in order to help out, or at least a bunch of dragoons, is not a bad idea. Which also reminds me, there is a very big chance that you might be hearing some extra clickiness from my videos. For the most part, you hear lots of clickiness anyways, because I'm using mechanical keyboards. I've been using black switches for a couple of years now, and as of today I've switched over to brown switches. So if you hear that more tactile kind of sound, then that is probably the reason why. Yeah. Just something that everybody's gonna have to get used to a bit. Hopefully not. Maybe you don't hear anything at all, but if you do, that is the reason why. So the reason why I'm building so many zealots at the moment is just for a little bit of an extra knock on the ground. They will probably not survive. Excuse me. They will probably not survive, but it's always nice to have a little bit of extra damage that we can deal with. See. I think let's make a line of scouts because of our low gas. And put the rest of these units on hotkey number 2. Actually, in fact, put these on 4, put these on 3. The scouts will be on number 2. Ooh, just in time. And we have a bunch of 3 Archons. Perfect. That was very, very nice of them. Now, I should also mention that they have carriers of their own, and what we can do is we can get a couple of extra Dark Archon if we want to. We can upgrade the Argus Talisman upgrade and capture their carriers for our own. I would actually recommend doing something like that and benefit from their units as much as we possibly can. But you don't have to break your back in doing so. Okay, I think the time has come for us to start harassing them a little bit. Since we have so many minerals going, you can just keep on making zealots for in the meantime. So yep, that's what we're gonna do. As soon as we have enough carriers, we're just gonna steamroll through this area and go straight for Aldaris. They're on the top. You can try to claim these bases over here. Like I said, a bit of a hefty battle that you have to deal with, but not a bad idea if you want to make use of the extra minerals, as this base eventually does run out. Extra damage over there. Okay, so let's send on our carriers to just poke a bit, get an idea of what is going on over here, see if we can snipe a photon cannon or two. So the energy is coming up nicely. That means that we'll be able to take maybe 2 or so carriers. See if we can. Perfect. Let's just get +2 over here. Alright, so with this out of the way, let's just come and clean this area up. Another set of carriers coming our way. Ah, there we go. Do not target that thing if you can help it. We can take on their scouts as well if we want to, but because it's such a cheap unit to create at this stage, I just kind of feel it's a pointless thing for us to do. It's gonna be a much better idea to just capture their carriers instead. Ah, here comes another one. Oh, well, you're not gonna get that one, unfortunately. Now, if we can get hold of one of these arbiters, that would be beautiful. That, on the other hand, would really be beautiful. So with this base that we have captured, let's see about claiming it. We can keep our melee units behind, and otherwise just focus on getting our carriers and our scouts up and running. Alright, let's see about clearing the way. Don't worry too much about all of the fancy stuff they have over here. We just actually want to break through the line, have as little casualties as we possibly can, knock down their stuff, the best way to assure that we won't have too many casualties. Perfect. And anything that fails now is gonna mean it's gonna be easier for us to clear out the rest. And there we go, mission accomplished.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy. It is finished, Judicator. Surrender your remaining forces and join us in eradicating the Zerg.
I would sooner die, Dark One, than tarnish the memory of Ire by joining with you. Your fate was sealed the moment your matriarch allied herself with the Queen of Blades. Those of us still loyal to Ire will never be slaves to Kerrigan and her broods.
Aldaris, be reasonable. Kerrigan has changed. She no longer seeks to enslave anyone. Do not force us to destroy you.
You can no longer afford to be so naive, Artanis. While you were securing the crystals, I discovered that your matriarch has been harboring a dark secret. She has been manipulated by...
I have no time for this.
What have you done?
I just cleaned up your mess, Protoss. Don't be so squeamish.
Wretched creature. This was our Protoss matter. You had no right to interfere. Be gone from this world. You are no longer welcome among us.
Fine. I've done what I came here to do. I've ensured the destruction of the renegade Cerebrits, and I used you to do it. Have fun, mighty Protoss. We'll be seeing each other again, real soon.
Alright, so there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the end of level 7 of the Protoss campaign, with a bit of a horrid ending. Artanis having some specific secret to share with us, and unfortunately that secret went with him to the grave. It does get pretty much revealed what happens later on in the Brood War campaign, but as to exactly what Artanis wanted to reveal, never gets revealed, unfortunately. Nonetheless, I hope that you found this video very helpful. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. Refer to your friends who would like to learn some more about Starcraft Brood War. And of course, I'll see you next time for level 8 and also the final level of the Protoss Brood War campaign. See you next time.